Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLESFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOURFRINDS and Philadelphia EAGLESFANS. Let's get to the news. Now guys, if you've been following the Eagles this offseason, you know that things are really starting to heat up. The Philadelphia Eagles, as we all expected, are making bold moves, trying to solidify their roster for another deep playoff run, maybe even another Super Bowl appearance. And the latest news, which just broke out, is about a notable shift in their defensive front. The Eagles have parted ways with one of their key pass rushers, Bryce Huff. Yes, the same Bryce Huff who was brought in with high hopes just a few seasons ago, especially considering he was making a splash with a hefty contract of around $51 million. But as is often the case in the NFL, rosters are constantly evolving, and teams are always looking for ways to optimize their cap space, improve their depth, and set themselves up for the future. This offseason, the Eagles decided to move on from Huff, and the move was made official recently with Huff being traded to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this isn't just a typical trade. There's a lot more behind the scenes that makes this move so intriguing for Eagles fans. First off, the Eagles are receiving a late-round pick in the 2026 draft as part of this deal. It might seem like a small thing, but those late-round selections can sometimes turn into hidden gems, players who develop over time and contribute significantly down the line. More importantly, though, this move isn't just about adding a pick, it's about what the Eagles saved in salary cap space. According to ESPN's Field Yates, the Eagles managed to free up more than $15 million in cap space with this trade. And let me tell you folks, that's a game changer. In the NFL, cap space isn't just a number, it's a strategic resource. It's what allows a team to make bold moves, to sign impactful free agents, or to trade for star players without being hamstrung by financial constraints. With that extra $15 million, the Eagles suddenly have a lot of flexibility. They can go out and sign a key free agent, maybe a veteran linebacker or a disruptive edge rusher, someone who can immediately make a difference on the field. And speaking of edge rushers, the Eagles are no strangers to investing heavily in that position. This move opens up the possibility of targeting a star like Trey Hendrickson, who's been one of the most consistent pass rushers in the league over the last couple of seasons. Hendrickson, who played for the Cincinnati Bengals, has recorded a staggering 17 sacks in each of the past 2 years. That's the kind of production that can transform a defense. If the Eagles are serious about maximizing their Super Bowl window, adding a player like Hendrickson could be a strategic move that pays huge dividends. Now, it's worth noting that Hendrickson is not just a one-year wonder. He's a player looking for a long-term deal, and with the cap space the Eagles now have, they could potentially offer him a lucrative contract that makes sense for both sides. Imagine that, pairing Hendrickson with the already talented defensive line led by players like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith. That kind of pass rush could be lethal, and it would put a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, which is exactly what the Eagles need to take their defense to the next level. But let's not forget that the Eagles aren't just looking to make a splash in free agency. They also have their young core to think about. Players like Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, and Jordan Davis are all in position to get extensions soon. The extra $15 million in cap space can be a huge help in negotiations, giving the Eagles the flexibility to lock up their future stars and keep this core together for years to come. That's critical because this team has been building a championship-grade roster over the past few seasons, and maintaining that core is essential if they want to stay competitive in the NFC. Looking at the bigger picture, the Eagles have been remarkably strategic in their offseason approach. They've already made some key moves, including re-signing their critical players, drafting promising talent, and now with this cap space, they're in a prime position to be even more aggressive. Whether that means signing a star free agent, making a trade for an impact player like Hendrickson, or simply pushing some of that money into future seasons, the Eagles are clearly focused on contending now and in the near future. Of course, moving on from Huff might raise some eyebrows among fans, especially considering his potential and the fact that he was part of the roster for a while. But in the NFL, sometimes you have to make tough decisions to get better overall. Huff, who had shown flashes of brilliance but also inconsistency, was perhaps a piece that the Eagles felt they could upgrade or replace with a more proven high-impact player. And with the cap savings, they're not just losing a player, they're gaining the flexibility to make the team even stronger, more versatile, and better suited for the challenges ahead. Now let's talk about how this impacts the Eagles' defense. Philadelphia's defense has been a key part of their success over the past few seasons. They're known for their gritty, physical style of play, with a secondary that's improved dramatically and a front seven that's become a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Adding a player like Trey Hendrickson could elevate that pass rush to elite levels. Hendrickson's ability to get to the quarterback, combined with the talents of guys like Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick, creates a formidable front that can suffocate offenses. The NFC East, as we all know, is extremely competitive. The Cowboys, Giants, and Redskins, now the Commanders, are all making moves of their own. The Cowboys have added some key pieces defensively. The Giants showed resilience last year with their young roster, and the Commanders are investing heavily in their defense as well. In this context, the Eagles' move to free up cap space and explore acquiring top-tier talent is a clear statement. They're not just here to compete, they're here to dominate. They want to establish themselves as the team to beat in the division, and every move they make is about stacking the odds in their favor. And speaking of the division, remember that the NFC East has historically been one of the most competitive and unpredictable divisions in the league. The Eagles, under head coach Nick Sirianni, have shown incredible resilience and adaptability. Their ability to adapt in the offseason, to identify weaknesses, and to fill those gaps is a hallmark of a championship-caliber team. This move to shed salary cap space and look for impactful players signals that they're not resting on their laurels. They understand that to keep pace and ultimately get over the hump, they need to be aggressive and strategic. This offseason has also seen some notable developments in terms of player development within the Eagles roster. Jalen Hurts, the franchise quarterback, continues to impress with his leadership, athleticism, and improving passing game. His chemistry with the weapons around him, especially A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, makes the Eagles' offense one of the most explosive in the league. The defense, as I mentioned, is poised for a leap forward if they can add that extra punch with a player like Hendrickson or similar impact talent. The combination of veteran savvy and young talent makes the Eagles a formidable force, and this recent move only amplifies that potential. Now, let's also consider the draft strategy. With the extra late-round pick acquired from this trade, the Eagles can continue to build depth, especially on the defensive line and linebacker positions. They've already invested heavily in the draft this year, bringing in players like Jalen Carter, who is expected to be a game-changer on the interior. Adding more draft capital gives them flexibility to target specific needs, whether in free agency or through future trades. It's all about building a sustainable, winning team that can compete at the highest level year after year. And what about the fans? Well, Philadelphia fans are some of the most passionate in the league. They've been through the roller coaster of emotions, from Super Bowl heartbreaks to incredible playoff runs. This offseason, the front office is clearly signaling their intent to bring another championship to the city of brotherly love. The moves they're making aren't just about short-term gains, they're about establishing a dynasty. With a strong front office, a talented roster, and the strategic flexibility to make bold moves, the Eagles are positioning themselves as a team to watch in the upcoming seasons. As we look ahead, there's a lot to be excited about. The NFL landscape is always changing, and the Eagles are right in the thick of things. Their recent cap space boost, combined with their draft picks and young core, makes them one of the most intriguing teams heading into the new season. Fans can expect them to be aggressive in free agency, possibly adding that game-changing pass rusher and continuing to develop their young stars. It's a team that's focused, hungry, and ready to chase another Super Bowl ring. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this move? Do you think trading Huff and freeing up cap space is enough to push the team over the edge? Are you excited about the possibility of adding Hendrickson or another star, or do you believe the team should focus on developing their young talent and building through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Eagles community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and news on everything Eagles related. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Remember, in the NFL, every move counts, and the Eagles are making theirs with purpose. The upcoming season promises to be exciting, and with this new cap flexibility, they're certainly in a strong position to make some bold, game-changing decisions. Whether it's adding a star like Hendrickson, extending their young stars, or even making a surprise trade, the Eagles are showing that they're not just playing for today, they're planning for a future filled with championships. Keep your eyes on Philadelphia, folks, because this team is only getting started and they're here to make history once again.